Hello everyone! How you are all doing? Oh my god, last time it was a doozy, as they like to say in America. Holy shit, I dropped my glasses. My god. Yesterday I did a stream and I played a Dave Chappelle skit. Now, playing a Dave Chappelle skit isn't illegal on the platform, especially since Dave Chappelle can just copyright claim and make money off of the video. But there were a couple of problematic language. And the automated system took it down, like while I was playing the skit, it got taken down. It was really interesting. I didn't get a community guideline strike though. And I don't think like I should, because again, I was playing a Comedy Central video, like it's on the platform. It would be very difficult for YouTube to explain why it is a problem. And the skit itself wasn't hateful or anything. It's mainstream, you know, it's Dave Chappelle, but they shot it down nonetheless. It was with the NYGIAR family. You know, a black and white video where you have like an old American family that's... Yeah. Of course YouTube is racist against Mr. Chappelle. Man, like, Dave Chappelle is my American hero. Like, he makes fun of progressives to the point where he gets like 0% on Metacritic. It's really funny. Like, there's this skit with Dave Chappelle where he makes fun of gay people. And apparently his producer says, no, you have to cut that out. Like, you can't make fun of gay people. And Dave Chappelle is like, well, okay, that's fine, but I use the N-word all the time. Why can I make fun of the N-word? And he's like, yeah, but Dave Chappelle, it's because you can't make fun of gay people because you're not gay. And Dave is like, but I'm not an N-word either. Just pay my accountant. Well, my accountant has been paid. In fact, like, it's not that I can't pay them. They actually know my finances. I can't even lie to them and say, well, I don't have money this month. Can I pay you next month? No, it doesn't work that way. Like, they actually know how much I earn. And they charge me every month. Let me actually tell you how much an accounting firm is in my country. Okay, so let me open a calculator. And I will tell you in dollars. So I need to pay to my accountant $60 a month. $60 every single month. Just ching, they charge me $60. Righty, scribbly, $60. It's not bedtime. It's 8:30 a.m. Man, I really hello, person from California. I miss making video responses. I miss the drama. Like, I want to get into some drama. I miss it. I would be the first to contact BreadTube and be like, yo, have me on. Come on. Call me a Nazi. I like it. I like it when you do that. Call me a Nazi. But you can't. You can't do that because of the terms of service. You know? Like, I want to weigh in on Keemstar and H3H3. I want to get in on that. I want to make a video. Make a video and get in on it. I can't. I cannot. Creator on creator harassment, they call it. Apparently Keemstar and Ethan are already on. Yeah. The Keemstar and Ethan drama. Hello, Igre Jaeger. Let me see if I can... Do you guys want me to talk about the Keemstar and the Ethan drama? Huh? Would you like me to weigh in on the issue? Yeah, like, shooting the shit is not allowed anymore. You get community guideline strikes. And it's like, why would I do that? Call H3H3 Jewish and he will freak him out. Is H3H3 Jewish? And why is it H3H3? Why isn't it hehe? I'm pretty sure he meant it as hehe at the time when he created this channel. People don't know who Keemstar is. People don't know. It's like, let's get into the news. Huh? He recoils as he strikes you. Yes, absolutely. You know, fine. I'll talk a little bit about it. If you're a person on the internet, okay? And you've been doing this for like 7 years. There is no way in hell you do not have skeletons in your closet. So I'm not surprised if people say, well, Keemstar is a shitty person, or people say H3 is a shitty person. I generally do not care. I do like Keemstar more though, and I've been saying this on my main channel because there have been many times that I have seen little people, like the little creator, someone that has like 1,000 subs or 5,000 subs, you know, a little guy, and he gets oppressed. He gets oppressed by the system, and Keemstar speaks out, and their channel gets unbanned. I have seen this like constantly happening. Like every time someone would have a community guideline strike, or they would have some issues with YouTube or whatever, or their accounts getting hacked, or, you know, like anything like that, you would go to Keemstar and he would tweet it out. So I have respect for the man. Now, I don't know if he did that out of the kindness and compassion of his heart. I don't know if he did that over the fact that he wants good publicity and he wants to appear like Jesus Christ healing the blind. I don't know, and I don't care. All I know is that he did this, so he's got my respect. I respect Keemstar for doing this, you know? Did H3 do any of these things? Like, if he did, I will change my mind. But I don't know, like, H3 helping out the little guy. So, yeah, I'm biased towards Keemstar. I genuinely like him. Now, this whole drama with attacking people's sponsors, that's lame. You know? Like, I guess, like, it's a proof that it's a legitimate grievance and they're not just playing it for the camera in order to get subs. Yeah, no, I see now everyone making videos. It's like, Keemstar is a Nazi. He speaks with the alt-right. Keemstar likes the Nazis. And it's like, Keemstar accuses people of blah, blah, blah. It's like, wasn't that already known? Like, isn't that, huh? Can a man change? Like, within the last couple of years, I haven't seen Keemstar dox people or attack people or call them, I don't know. It's just like, I definitely, think that Keemstar is a bonus to the community. Like, hire me as your PR lawyer, Keemstar. I will make it so that people think that you are a positive benefit for the community. If you're a little guy on YouTube and you have problems, like YouTube is censoring you, or your account gets hacked, or you know, you get your channel demonetized or whatever, and you want a megaphone to boost your voice, Keemstar helps the marginalized. Like, legit. I have seen him do it. And I have seen him do it with people of all walks of life, as they like to be called. He did say the gamer word, I know. I don't care if people change or not, but realistically, like, there are people that wouldn't have accounts now if it wasn't for Keemstar. So again, I don't know if he did it for the kind, compassionate reasons or whatever. But what I do know is that he did it. And there are people now in a better place because of him. So yeah, I don't care. Like, literally, you can unearth the fact that he is into demonology and he is summoning soul-sucking succubi in order to drain other people of their life force. I do not care. All right, like, all I know is that he did good. I have a great business idea. Let's restart the speakeasy trend. Well, in order to restart the speakeasy, you need to first ban alcohol. So. Yes. Is Erica in a better place because of him? Well, you know, that was in the past. It was already discussed, wasn't it? Like, it's already covered. It's not like it's a new thing. And honestly, seeing how Zoe Quinn managed to ramp up her career due to that, I just don't see why I should hold other people to different standards than Zoe Quinn. But yeah, no, like, everyone knows about Erica. It's like, I'm not saying that Keemstar is a saint or anything, all right? Like, I'm not saying that he is Jesus Christ healing the blind, as I mentioned before. No, but, like, he did actual good. Like, I benefit from the existence of people like Keemstar, you know, because I have a smaller account base, I have smaller subscribers, and if anything happens to my channel, I can rely on people like Styx Hexenhammer, I can rely on people like Keemstar, I can rely on other people like that have some influence in order to raise awareness that I've been hacked or whatever other nonsense. So, you know, like, legitimately for me, it's a benefit that these people exist. So yeah, I am biased, I guess. If you want to change my mind, get some other more rightful people, more righteous individuals that are clean in soul and spirit. that are willing to help me, so then I get to choose. Then I can say, yes, I have numerous options to go for if something bad happens to me, and I will choose the more righteous individuals. Yeah, I mean, there is a shortage of that. You know, like, seriously, it's the same where people go like, why do you like Milo Yiannopoulos? Don't you know that he did X, Y, and Z? And it's like, name me another person that can go to a university and have the university students, the prestigious intellectual academics, set fire to the university because a gay Jewish man wants to speak there. Like, show me another person that can expose the entire American nation to what their future academics are doing. And, you know, like, you kind of get a little bit of a shortage when it comes to that. You don't really get to pick and choose. So I get what is, you know, available. It's like when you go to the supermarket, if you only have if there's only one casserole of sausages, you're going to take that casserole because you just want sausages. I do not know anything about the Falun Gong, by the way. People want to see Dave Chappelle's video again. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Like, the algorithm bans it on my channel, but it's on Comedy Central and monetized. So that is just another example of these platforms getting preferential treatment. Milo goes to speak, leftists burn down their own leftist temple. Yeah, I mean, name me another person that can do that. Or name me another person that can go in front of a reporter that claims to be a Muslim, and Milo asks, like, okay, what are the pillars of Islam? And she literally doesn't know. Like, she was so offended. It's like, oh, Milo, you're attacking my faith, and blah, 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 blah. And he's like, okay, what are the pillars of Islam? Name me the pillars. She couldn't do it. I can do it. I can name the pillars of Islam. Isn't that interesting? Okay? Who else is doing these exposés? That's why I like Milo. You know, like, he was useful at what was he doing. Like, the fact that he never delivered money on the charity that he promised, or, you know, like the scholarships for white people or whatnot, or, you know, he's involved in shady activities, and, you know, his comments regarding age of consent, and I don't care. Like, that's between him, the law, and God. Okay? Like, all I care, I'm very narrowly focused. I'm like a horse that has blinders, and I can only see in front of me. Like, I'm laser focused on my goal. You know, exposing hypocrisy when it comes to the American left. That's what I want to see, and I don't care who gets to do it. Yeah? Again, if someone is not perfect enough, then it's between him, the law, and his God. There we go. Ring of Fire is reaction gold. They make the young trick look smile. I haven't seen Ring of Fire. I should get to it. Name them. The goblins. Can't call via Muslim. Well, no, I'm legitimately like thinking of converting, honestly. It's like if I were to convert to a religion, I would want some tsuyoi, very strong religion, something that guarantees my protection. Remember, horses in Romania are awesome, and run downstairs. Oh, yes. I'm glad you actually remembered that video. Very few people are aware of the lore. Okay. Should we discuss something that has happened, huh? Let me just go online and find out. Oh, look. No, I can't talk about this. This is actually bad. This is bad for me to talk about. Here's an interesting... Oh, no, actually, we talked about this job ad. Holy shit, we talked about a lot of things. This is something that I want to talk about on my secondary channel, though. Apparently, IGDA... What on earth is IGDA? Like, I need to... Hold on. I need to figure out what this acronym means. IGDA. International Game Developer Association. Oh, great, they unionized. Yes, there is an International Game Developer Association. Aren't they like the ones that were the pioneers in having like gender-neutral bathrooms and no one used them? It kind of makes sense that no one would use them, because if you're an actual transgender person and you go from male to female or from female to male, you don't consider yourself gender-neutral. Like, you consider yourself to be what you like it's in the name, transitioning, right? Like, you transition into something. So of course they don't want to use the neutral bathroom. Any person with a brain could figure that out. But again, it's like, how much money does it cost to build a third bathroom? It's probably not that cheap if you think about it. Because it's not really the space that's the problem, but it's the whole infrastructure. Like you have to put the pipes there and the plumbing, and it's kind of, it's kind of costly. Not every company can afford to have like 3 bathrooms, male, female, and gender neutral. If I was in California, I would have 2 bathrooms, cock and pussy, and whatever is in your pants, you go to that bathroom. As of recent, multiple companies are working on AI algorithms and databases to stop quote-unquote bad people from facilitating hate around the web and the workplace. But what if I want to surround myself with hate? Like, I'm not a hateful person, but I want to be around hateful people. I want to have hair growing on my chest. Like, I want to put myself in a very difficult environment and be like, yes, I am the only human being on earth that can stomach this. Like, I want to train myself, so that when the Russians invade Romania, and they would have a megaphone, like this would be the Russian secret weapon, a megaphone with hateful rhetoric. And they would start spewing their hate, and everyone around me would be like, oh no, it crushes our spirits, no, Igda, help Igda. And Igda wouldn't be there to help. Igda would have no answer to that. But I would definitely, like, after years of training myself throughout the video game, surrounding myself with hateful people, I can stand this bigotry. And I would be like a shield. I would be like the defender of my soldiers, Like, oh my god, I would love that. No, but seriously, is it just me or is, like, quote-unquote hate actually fun? Because what they define as hate nowadays, like maybe like 5 years ago, what people defined as hate was actually hate. But nowadays it's not hate. It's jokes, edgy humor, banter. Like literally what made MTV famous, or what actually made the internet popular to begin with. Yeah, all of that not allowed. So just so you can understand how ridiculous it is. Okay, like at Blizzard, they told the guy that was making the OK sign to stop doing it because it's racist. At Hearthstone, there was a guy that did this. Like when he was at the computer, he did this. And because his opponent was Asian, they considered that to be hateful. It's like literally anything is hateful to these people. Probably when they look into the mirror, they also notice hatred. The magic of hate. Seriously, if you were an alien and you're coming on Earth 5,000 years in the future when humanity is extinct and you're uncovering archaeological research from 2020, you would think that hate is like this magical ability that people have in order to destroy each other. It's like this mystical essence. And you're conjuring hate, and it channels it through the computer, and it destroys other people to the point where multi-billion-dollar corporations need to step in to be the saviors. So yes, hate speech and white nationalist lingo. Like, what does that mean? It's like, do white nationalists have a different language now? I'll tell you what it means. It means the OK sign. It means Pepe the Frog. It literally means like they believe white nationalists are Medias, King Medias, that touch things and it turned into gold. Like, they believe that everything a white nationalist touches turns into racism. It's like, we can't use the German autobahns because they were made by the Nazis, so we shouldn't. In mid-May 2020, Facebook announced the Hateful Memes Challenge, which, by the way, like, they actually paid people to do hateful memes, and they are the most cringiest memes that I have ever seen in my life. It's like, there was no soul. Like, when you want to create a hateful meme, it is magical. Like, it needs a part of your soul, like a part of your essence needs to be put into that meme. It needs to, be empowered by your passion, by your passion, by your spirit. That's how you create a hateful meme. If you pay someone to do it, it just doesn't work. Reminds me when CIA tried to do it. They actually, when CIA got hacked and they had like this program showing meme warfare or whatnot. To be honest, like, memes aren't really that new. Like, they've existed since before the internet. Like, let me just give you an example of World War II propaganda posters. And like, look, You know, these used to be memes back in the day. Look at this. We want your kitchen waste. Bigfoot. Blah, 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 blah. Become a nurse. Your country needs you. Mount the guns. Like these were memes. You know, they were posters. And some of them were cancerous. You know. Look at this. Let's catch him with his panzers down. We will if we keep on firing. I'm like, so I'm not surprised that look at this. Stop this grab. Buy war bonds. Oh my god, like some of them are so cool. Seriously, like some of them are so cool. I really love World War II propaganda, especially the ones from the USSR. Look at this. This is the enemy. What is this? The Bible? Oh yeah. Like they're talking about how the Nazis hated religion. They did have like Gott mit uns on their belt buckle. But they hated Catholicism. They wanted to create positive Christianity. You can actually go on Wikipedia and you can find it. Yeah. So, you know, it doesn't surprise me that the OG memes, yes. It doesn't surprise me that the CIA were talking about meme warfare or whatnot, because they're very viral, and they're a very good way to spread propaganda. Like, they're a very good way to send a message to people. And it's not that you're just sending a message to people. The person you send the message is going to send the message to someone else for free. So, no, they're very effective for propaganda. But again, like, the problem is you don't know what makes a good meme and what doesn't. So, when you pay someone to make memes, they usually make very bad memes. I think, like, who else did this? Bloomberg, yeah? Bloomberg also paid people to make memes. Didn't work. You need the soul. You need la pasión. It's like fucking a woman, okay? That's how it is when making a hateful meme. If you do not put your heart into it, so it can pump the blood to the organ, then it's not going to work. It doesn't work like that. Just tell someone like, yeah, here's some money, make some memes. Needs inspiration. It needs a passion. With a growing number of database AI algorithms being trained to curtail any wrong thing or bad behavior, only expect more of these programs to emerge in the near and distant future. You know why this is an uphill battle, by the way? I will tell you why you can never remove hatred from the internet. First of all, besides the fact that hatred is a human emotion. Like, you cannot just take an emotion outside of the human element. Which is why they don't even try to do that. They just try to remove humans. So basically, they're removing potential customers. But here's my point. You have piracy. Now, piracy is illegal. There are laws in every single country, well, most of it, against piracy. And the companies, the corporations, they have invested billions of dollars, if not trillions, since the internet has started, in order to crack down on piracy, to make sure that you cannot purchase an illegal software. And yet to this day, they haven't managed to do this. What makes you think that you're going to try to crack down on hatred when most governments don't even have laws against hatred? Like, there is nothing illegal in my country if I make a hateful meme. I do not violate any sort of law. I do not, like, the police isn't going to knock at my door. Now, there are a couple of governments in the world that are mentally retarded, which, by the way, I understand is a hateful word. Like the United Kingdom. Yes, in the United Kingdom, you can actually get arrested if you make a hateful tweet. But I think even in the United Kingdom, it's only for online. Like, if you were to have a newspaper and you make a hateful meme or something and it's not online, like, you're not going to get the cops knocking at your door. They do not have any legal. Like, the only reason in the UK you have cops coming at you if you disagree with a transgender or whatnot is because of a law they used to have that used to make sense. And that law was you weren't allowed to harass people on the telephone. Like, for example, and it's a really good law, by the way. Like, back in the day when people didn't have cell phones and the only thing you had was a landline phone, if someone was, like, constantly dialing you, you know, when you're eating, when you're taking a shower, when you're sleeping, and they're like this obnoxious person that just wants to harass you using the phone, then yeah, you know, you would call the cops and get them to stop. Like, it makes sense, right? But that law moved, it was for electronic communication. So if I were to pick up the phone and you know, the person on the other side answers and like, how you doing, you little slut? Ah, your mommy is a whore. You know, if you do that thing, then yeah, you do it repeatedly, it's annoying. People want you to stop. Especially then, like, you wouldn't see the number of the person calling you. You couldn't block them or anything. It was like, okay, the phone is ringing. It might be my boss. It might be something important. And you answer like, ah, how you doing, fuckface? You know, like, okay. But now that same law is applying to the internet. And in the internet, it's like not that you're harassing people, because they can mute you, they can block you, they can do all these sorts of things. And not only that, it also means that I don't even have to tweet it at a specific person. Like, I could just make a lyric, you know, like a rap lyric. And someone can knock at my door because... So, it's kind of interesting because they also talk against how muting and blocking people isn't the solution, because it disempowers the people that want power. Like, these people, all right, they want to get the power to direct human communication online. And a lot of chunks of human communication is moving online. So the person that gets to be the gatekeeper and the curator is going to have not only like financial success, but genuine power in a society. So they want to, you know, improve the internet by having an algorithm that is now going to ban things from video games. As if, you know, like, how did video games exist up until now without the algorithm? We thought it would be good to put it forward all together so we have the most effect with the plan to apply pressure to encourage companies to really consider them. We want them to be conversations that people are having, and clearly right now is a huge time of need within the gaming industry. The gaming industry is dying right now, okay? The stocks of most AAA companies are going down. We don't even know what the virus had as an effect on the gaming industry as a whole. You people are the cancer of the gaming industry. Like, literally, you are destroying the gaming industry. Which is good. I think it needs to burn down. I think, you know, the Polish video game creators like CD Projekt Red and people from Eastern Europe, yeah, you know, maybe it's time for Eastern Europe to rise up in the gaming industry. Because clearly California is way away from the customer. But it's okay, you know, this is a great thing about the internet. Because it provides. Blue Falcon, I will smile if you give me a super chat. But anyway, right, so here's something that I also realized, and this actually blew my mind. I was talking with a person, and he pointed out something really true. The internet wouldn't exist if it... Like, the world nations would have been against the concept of an internet. Think about it. If you were to go like 50 years in the past and tell, you know, the US president at the time and the people in power, we want to create a technology that unites every single nation in the world to the point where the average American can speak with the average Russian. And this technology is going to rival mainstream media and is going to be better than Hollywood. No one would have ever accepted that. No one would have been for it. No one, like, every single country in the world would have actively made legislation to oppose it. The only reason it actually managed to work, and it's like, yeah, Mac, the internet already existed 50 years ago, but it didn't exist in the form we have today. It didn't exist that almost everyone would have a cell phone or a smartphone and they could connect to the internet, right? That's what I'm talking about. So the only reason it worked is because technology found a way. It was grassroots. It started growing slowly and incrementally to the point where the politicians were forced with the idea that, yeah, this thing exists. And people would look at it as a toy, and they would also look at it as potential thing for military applications. But my point is, like, what am I going with this, okay? So even though governments in the world would have opposed it if they knew what it would turn into, technology found a way. Like, they found a workaround, you know, around the mainstream media, around the politicians, and around all that. And today, I think, despite of all the censorship that you see, and, you know, like tech companies trying to gatekeep and blah, technology is just going to go around them. Like, if there is a demand, people will try to find a workaround. Like, I already know people in the hentai industry, and I think the hentai industry, believe it or not, is the most important industry to look at right now. And the reason I'm saying this, I know it's funny and I know it's ridiculous. But if you think about it, without cam girls, you wouldn't have Twitch. And I'm not talking about the platform. I'm talking about like most of the live stream services. Like you can actually have a conference nowadays with a medical committee and a doctor can show them how a surgery is done. You can do this because of cam girls. Like they created the need for the technicians to develop a streaming service that gives clarity of view and is able to transmit real-time information to millions of people. So the hentai industry, believe it or not, is actually leading the charge on fighting against censorship online. Why? Because everyone tries to get rid of porn nowadays. So payment processors, credit cards, everyone tries to get rid of porn from their platform. So there is a desire from the people to have porn. And they try to find workarounds and they try to find, back doors into managing. And they're the ones that are, for example, Lewd Gamer, which is a website that reviews hentai games, managed to find a way to get PayPal to accept them. They just moved to a Japanese bank, and with the laws in Japan, as I understand it, PayPal has to do business with them. If PayPal wants to cut them off, they have to cut off the entire Japanese market. So you have like these people that are pioneering ways to go around censorship. It's like, okay, well, you have activists that cut payment processors. Well, that's fine. We're going to find banks from Eastern Europe. We're going to move to a country that doesn't allow this to happen. I don't have a PO box, but I do have a PayPal. Like if you go here and you give it to Streamlabs, it doesn't finance YouTube. Just, if you want to do a donation, do it to Streamlabs and then tell me you donated and I'll read it online. If hentai studios start crowdfunding their hentai episodes, there will be a cultural revolution. Okay, hentai studios, what is happening right now? There are a couple of games like Subverse, and there's a couple of more that made millions of dollars in Kickstarter. Like there is a huge demand, and the industry is not gatekept by social justice activists. Like as I know right now, there is only one website on the entire internet that has the audience and is big enough to actually review hentai games. So if you're an indie developer and you want to get started in the industry, you have to go through this website, which is Lewd Gamer. And I have it on interesting authority that there was a left-leaning journalist from a leftist publication that wanted to do a hit piece on Lewd Gamer. And what happened was that a lot of the social justice activists that sell their pretentious games went to this leftist journalist and said, look, do not fuck with these people. If you fuck with these people, you're fucking with our livelihood. Because, if they would have done a hit piece on this website, it would have attacked also the prestigious leftists. So the leftist journalist has to bend the knee in front of the Chad Lewd Gamer in order for, to have the social justice activists manage to sell their games. How long until social justice infects the porn industry? It's very difficult for social justice to infect the porn industry. Number one, a lot of the people that are aware of the social justice activists. So they're already they are, how should I say, like they know what these people are. Social justice managed to infect stuff because most people didn't know who they are or what they do, or they generally thought they have good intentions. But nowadays, since it's up in the open, since sunlight is the best disinfectant, they know what they are. They're like a walking lawsuit for a company. Why would anyone hire them? It is a rather honest and down-to-earth profession. Yeah. Interracial porn is social justice. No, man, you know what I think about porn? It's like if something exists, people decide what is popular and what isn't. Like, it's not like there's only one type of porn and you're forced to watch that. Like, you can watch anything you want. And if people want to watch something, then people want to watch something. And they're the ones that decide. It's the most democratic thing ever. Which is why a lot of companies try to crack down on it. Like, for example, on Twitch or on YouTube, right? Like, on YouTube, it used to be democratic. If you make a video and it's popular and people want to watch it, it gets on the top of the search engine because, it's trending. But companies don't want that. So they have to modify the search engine. They have to modify the system. Well, I'm sorry, Blue Falcon. But the thing with Romanian mail is that it rarely delivers in time. Like, okay, I'll explain to people why I don't have a PO box and why I will never have a PO box. The main issue that I'm having with it is that I used to give people my address so that they can mail me stuff. And what happens is, like, I get a notification in my mail like, hey, by the way, you got mail, you need to go to the post. And when I go to the post, I find out it's like, oh, you should have been here like 5 days ago because you weren't here, like the stuff was here and we had to send it away. And I'm thinking, it's like, bruh, I just got the notification that the stuff arrived. So when I got the notification that the stuff arrived, I went to the mail. And then they tell you, oh no, it's too late. Like we had to send it back. It's your fault for not being here earlier. It's really annoying. Yeah. It's like YouTube delivering subscription notifications, you know, like, hey, by the way, V is live. And then when you click on my channel, stream has ended. I really need to find something more interesting to do with my live streams. You know, it's so annoying because I noticed my subscribers dropping. Like last year, I was getting like 600 people watching my live streams, and now I get around 200. And I want to do something more entertaining. I wanna work for you guys. You know, I just don't know what. It's kind of silly because back then I would have guests. Back then I would go into drama. Back then I would talk about a lot of spicy stuff. And I can't do it now. In fact, now I have to delete my streams in order to make sure that you don't trigger an army of autistic people trying to find something bad that you said. Yeah, I'll probably have to stop deleting streams, yes. And hey, Atom Saber, nothing's up. I'm just, chilling. I only did that once, huh? I mean, you know, I think I need several things. I need to have like a fixed streaming schedule, like the same hour every day. And I need to stop deleting the streams and just take responsibility, I guess. And yeah, we'll see from there. It's 2 a.m. in the United States. Wow, I didn't know that. What should we talk about the United States? The Democrats versus the Republicans, with Biden saying if you don't vote for me, you're not black. Did you see that Donald Trump actually has like Biden's quote on the campaign? Like, this is why The Onion is getting bankrupt, because you can't make sarcasm at all anymore. Like, look at this. The Onion, you know, like people used to say on the internet jokingly, it's like all Donald Trump has to do to win the campaign is to just quote the Democrats. Like he doesn't even have to bring anything to the table. Like he doesn't need to add some commentary or whatnot. Like you can make just a 30-minute footage of Democrats talking, you know, and you just upload that. You upload the Democrats talking in Spanish. You upload, you know, all the gaffes that they're making. You just like, yeah, and at the end of the video, you say, this is the competition. Vote Donald Trump. So it's like now Trump campaign is selling you 8 black shirts after Biden comment. The shirt costs $30, and they were revealed on the Trump's campaign site shop just hours after Biden sparked the criticism, saying that I'll tell you what, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black. Now, obviously, he tried to land it as a joke, you know, like, the idea is like, there is no possible way that a black person wouldn't vote for me. Like, and this is, you know, taking the vote for granted, which is what a lot of black people are afraid that the Democrats are doing. It's like, basically, here's the thing. And this is like basic human psychology. Like, if you know that a couple of people support you no matter what, then you're not really going to focus on them, are you? Like, you don't care about them. Like, seriously, if you know that you have a community that will support you no matter what, you're going to ignore them. You want to focus on the people that might or might not support you, like the fence sitters, basically. You know, the ones that are still not decided whether to vote for you or not. Like, those are the ones you need to focus your campaign on. The people that you already know are in your pocket, you don't need to focus on them because they're already convinced. It's like preaching to the choir. And this is what black people don't want. You know, like the rapper that Biden was talking to, he was like, we don't want the vote to be taken for granted. We want you to tell us why we should vote for you. And he's like, no, you should vote for me because you're black. And then, like, it landed so poorly that it's like the biggest gaffe and the biggest damage to the Democrats that I have seen in recent years. It is just like, you know? So yeah, he had to apologize. It's very rare. It's very rare. In fact, I don't even remember it. When is the last time it happened? It is incredibly rare that the leftist apologize. Did you notice that? Did you notice that it's incredibly rare for a left-leaning person to apologize? And the reason for this being is that they know apology doesn't work. They know that the reason apology happens in public. Like, I'm not talking a personal apology. You hurt someone and you're like, look, I'm sorry, I didn't want to. No. Like, the idea you go in front of the cameras and you apologize to everyone. The reason they do this is because they need a confession. All right? So if I accuse Goblin Slayer of working with the goblins. You know, I pass this accusation. I say that the Goblin Slayer is a crisis actor. He's a plant working for the Goblin Kingdom. Well, if I do that, it's just an accusation. But if the Goblin Slayer apologizes, well, he just issued a confession, and now we can move on with the prosecution. My God, 20 rubles. Holy shit, that's a lot of money, man. Like, Jesus. The classic Max Hydro TV signal hijacking from the 80s was a major shitposting ever done by far. Back in the day, a white van with Pringles can antenna raise fear and loathing. Now, the world's mimetic warfare material. I didn't know that happened. You know, I keep saying it in movies, and I thought it's just like a joke. But like the idea that some evil terrorist would hijack the television broadcast and then, you know, spew his message or whatever. I thought that's just a thing in movies. But apparently, if this is the case, I'm going to have to look at it and see if it actually happened. Blow up the interwebs, huh? Super chat tax shouldn't happen. Yeah, taxation is theft, isn't it? Let me show you something really cool from history that I found out. Are you guys aware of the Los Angeles UFO sightings? I think it's in Wikipedia. Yeah, the Battle of Los Angeles. Like, this is one of the events that's really cool, but apparently you can't, YouTube doesn't like it because it's a conspiracy theory. But here's the thing, right? So you have World War II, and imagine, you know, the state of mind of the American people. And there was like the great Los Angeles air raid. And if you talk about it, like, no one knows, like, what do you mean, like, a Los Angeles air raid? Like, what happened? So apparently it was an attack on the mainland United States by Japan, and the anti-artillery opened fire. So basically what seems to have happened is that there were definitely aircraft flying over Los Angeles. You know, like, you get to see lights in the sky and whatnot. So the anti-air gun from the ground starts firing in it. The thing is, they don't know what they took down. The Japanese also say that, nope, we didn't send any, like, and this is after the war, like, they have no reason to lie. And they say, no, we didn't send any aircraft over there. You know, like, no one knows what it is. And the only explanation is that it's an UFO. It's an unidentified flying object, like, by the definition. So, while documenting the incident, concluded that once the firing started, imagination created all kinds of targets in the sky and everyone joined in. In 1983, the US official Air Force attributed the event to a case of war nerves triggered by a lost weather balloon and exacerbated by the flares and shell bursts from adjoining batteries. So the way they explain it is like it's some sort of mass hysteria. Like, there was a weather balloon, some anti-air artillery fired on it, and then everyone started firing on it. But is that really the case? Is that really what happened? Both super chats and sleeve apps for stuck since yesterday. What? No, it's like, first of all, I do get super chats, so I don't think they're stuck. If you wrote, I understand YouTube actually blocks super chats, like you can't write the N word or some other things in super chats. I think you can't donate a 14.88 super chat either, like $14.88. It's actually interesting. Like Milo got deplatformed from PayPal because he sent like $14.88 to a Jewish person or something, and he's a Jew himself, which is very interesting. Contrast Los Angeles. When power went out there, thousands called 911 about the scary lights in the sky. It was the stars in the Milky Way galaxy. Oh shit. Yeah, I remember like this was very funny for me to watch. And as a kid, I really didn't understand. It's like I was thinking, like, man, Americans are so ridiculous. Like there was this power outage in an American city. I think it was Los Angeles or something, you know. And I'm looking at the power outage, and I'm like seeing everyone panicking, and people were like really freaked out about it. And here I am sitting from my country, and I'm like, bruh, we got power outages every fucking day. What is the problem with these people? Why are they acting like this? Just like, stay calm and power will resume. Like, what on earth? And there was like this entire movie, I think it was called Blackout. And it was like with the same premise. It's like, oh, there's a power outage and it's like horror. I'm like thinking like, okay, so there's a power outage. Like, just wait for it and the power comes back on. Like, what's the problem? But I guess like the reason for the power outage is if you live in a dangerous area and there's a high crime rate, then a power outage probably means that the alarm in your store is not going to function anymore. I remember, yeah, I had candles. Yes, I actually had candles in my house. Like, I remember that. And it was even like in the year 2000s, like every single house would have a candle. It's like, okay, if there's a power outage during the middle of the night or something, and you need a candle so you can still see where the bedroom is. I don't remember how long was the power outage, but yeah. It's nowadays, you know, you just go to your smartphone and you turn on the smartphone and you have like the flashlight function. But it wasn't like it was a time before flashlights. It's more like a candle, for some reason, is more elegant and classical than a flashlight. Like a flashlight is something that you go around, you know, in order to walk with it, right? A candle is like something you put there and it brights the whole room. I mean, I guess a flashlight does the same, but I don't know. Like, people generally didn't use flashlights in the house. They would use candles. Do alarms operate on battery? I don't know. I think some do. But like most alarms that I see are connected to the power source. That happens in the past week at my granny's place. Turns out burglars have been attacking it, and they tried to turn main switch off to turn off the alarm. Yeah, no, this is why alarms shouldn't be connected to just the power source. Like, they should have a battery or something. It's really disturbing. Yeah, like, this is something else that Europeans don't understand when they talk about taking away Americans' guns. Like, these people just don't understand America. There are places in the US, like I've heard about, you go on someone's farm, okay? You go on someone's property and you take a tractor and you walk for 30 minutes in the tractor and you're still on the same guy's goddamn property. Like, the huge plots of lands, huge. And not only that, but they're like in the middle of nowhere. Like, in order to go to buy something, you have to spend like 1 hour or 2 hours in order to get to the nearest thing that looks like a city. But you have like maybe a gas station or something in order to be able to purchase some supplies. Imagine like if those people wouldn't have access to firearm. Like, you see someone on your property. By the time you call 911, like, the cops literally do not have a helicopter to get on your shit. It's insane. Like, of course they need weapons to defend themselves. And I'm not even talking about like wild animals and whatnot. Like, there was this guy, that just so you can see how detached people are. There was this guy that was pointing out, it's like, look, I need a firearm in order to protect myself from wild boar. Now, wild boar is incredibly dangerous. Like, you do not understand. That is not an animal. That is like, how should I put it? It's Mother's Nature equivalent of a friggin' tank. Like when you look at a wild boar, like I actually spoke with a hunter, and he told me that if you don't use the proper weapons to hunt the boar, it freaking ricochets. It ricochets off of the goddamn thing. Like you need to shoot it at a proper angle, and you need to shoot it with a freaking armor piercing ground in order to put it down. And not only that, like if you don't shoot it properly, you piss it off, and if you piss it off, it's coming towards you to gorge you, as if you're that king from Game of Thrones. Like those things are really dangerous, okay? So yeah, like you probably need an assault rifle in order to keep your property safe from those things. And by the way, they grow really large as well. Like they are like, no, seriously, it's like nature's equivalent of a freaking tank. I would rather meet a wolf than to meet a wild boar. At least with the wolf, you know, like, okay, maybe I can get a club or something and hit it, you know, and it can... At least that thing has a spirit of self-preservation, but the wild boar is like a US Marine. If they see a machine gun, they feel the need to charge it. It's really difficult to... Like, no, seriously, these people that have grown in the city, they're really... how should I say? They're really sheltered from the realities of living in a rural area. Yeah, it's 130 kilograms of pure hate and bacon. Like, no, let me just... Oh, hold on. Hold on, let me see if I can... wild boar. Okay, like look at this thing. Alright? Like this thing hates you. It hates you. It hates you, it hates your family, it hates your property, it hates your it hates everything. Look at this shit. Look, like you tell me that you can put this down with a pistola. Like seriously, you tell me that if you see this on your property where your kids are playing, you can put it down with a pistola. Good luck with that. You know, good luck. Do you know how they used to hunt boar back in the old days? Like the way they would hunt these things in the old days was with spears. You know, like you wouldn't even get close to them with a bow and arrow. Like you had to be insane. No, you needed spears, and you needed dogs, and you needed a lot of people. Like that's why it was actually... Look at this shit. Just look at it. Look. Look, you tell me you're not going to shit yourself if you see this on your property. My God. You know, and people are like, oh no, like why do you need an assault rifle for it? Yeah, and it was a special design spear, yeah. That is a job for an AK-47. And by the way, like that is if it's one. What if it's two of them, you know? It's just... You know that gun that Sargon fired when he was with Alex Jones, that anti-tank gun? Like, yeah, maybe that. And again, like, you need to pray you're not going to miss, or it doesn't ricochet for the thing. You need to attack it in the back where its armor is weakest. That's even... No. Hold on. Like, that's even better than a tank. Like, at least a tank, if you shoot it from behind, it's got low armor there. No, this shit has armor everywhere. I remember Kyle of Secular Talk didn't know how farms look from a plane. Man, these people are so detached from life at the countryside, it's not even funny. Let me show you another animal. Like, if you want to talk about animals that are bad, you look at Australia. Like, Australia... There is a reason Australia used to be a prison colony. You send people in the most dangerous place on earth. Okay, so this asshole is the bird equivalent, you know, of Mother Gaia's giving the fuck you to you. So this is the most dangerous bird on the planet. Like, when you have this thing in a zoo, and I do not understand why anyone would want it in a zoo. They go to feed it or to clean its enclosure. They go the same way that the riot police goes to calm down and pacify citizens. They go with glass shields and they form a shield wall with a big baton in order to beat this shit senseless if it dares to approach. Like, this thing will gorge you. It's very aggressive. It's got even a helmet on top of its head. And what it does is, like, it's got like this really big spike, this really big claw, that it launches itself at you and disembowels you with a swift motion. Like, this thing can cut a man in half. And look how people are. You know, like, look at this. Hold on. Send an ambulance. All right, so someone actually encountered one of these. Yeah. let me see if I can get it in a picture so you guys can see. All right, look at this. Like, look at this. It's just, and this is not sufficient. Like, this person is in grave danger right now. They absolutely have no sense of self-preservation. Yeah, it looks like a fucking chocobo. You go and ride it. You know, you go and step onto that chocobo. Man, ostriches are peaceful creatures compared to the, like, the problem with these things is that they're hyper aggressive. Look at this. Like, look at it. Look, this thing can just, it's like a knife. If you go with this thing in the UK, you get a fine. Oh my God, you go to prison. It's worse than a potato peeler. It is the dead. Look at it. Look, this is probably how people go into their enclosure. And by the way, like, this person is actually courageous because they go alone. No, you usually go with 3 or 4 people and you form a shield wall in order to keep this thing at bay. And this is just to clean its enclosure. It looks like an ostrich impregnated a turkey. Yeah, but it's really large. Like, it's almost the size of a man. It's very dangerous. It's the world's most dangerous bird, actually. Capable of dealing fatal blows. They are very unpredictable, aggressive creature, especially if wounded or cornered. It lives in the rainforest of Australia. Pretty shy animals if undisturbed. Yeah, but again, like, if you have it in a zoo and you need to disturb it to clean its enclosure, you're kind of fucked. But if you get close and think you're a threat, you could receive a bone-breaking kick or get a slice by the dagger-like sharp claws. During World War II, soldier stations in the New Guinea were warned to stay away from these birds. But some of them still became victims. The cassowary is also one of the most difficult animals to keep in the zoo because of the frequent injuries suffered by zookeepers that look after them. I like a bird that can take care of itself, but unfortunately this doesn't seem to help it very much against the human cruelty and blah 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 blah. No, this thing deserves to get to... If something goes extinct, I wouldn't mind if this was the thing. Seriously, you know, I'm all for... I'm a human supremacist. Everything that endangers humanity to this level is a threat. I'm pretty sure they're probably using a Roomba to clean its enclosure. Because no one has... And the Roomba probably gets destroyed in a second. Down Under is actually Jurassic Park light. Yes, it is. It's like when the British Empire decided to take the piss. Like, you know, like I spoke with Bering a couple of months ago. And he's like, yeah, I found this snake in my bathroom and it was like really poisonous. It's like, motherfucker, you're talking about it like it's something normal. People do not find poisonous snakes in their bathrooms, believe it or not. And that is if you don't find like some motherfucking spider. Like, let me tell you how dangerous Australia is, okay? Because it's so dangerous that even the people from Australia do not comprehend. Because like they think it's normal, alright? I'm watching like this documentary about infestations, and it's about people who, you know, have their houses infested by bugs or whatever, and at one point they decide to call the exterminator, and it's an interesting documentary, and you have like people with various infestations. And then the Australia episode showed up, and it's like, oh, my house is infested with scorpions. Like, what? You know, like, no, literally, like they had a house that was infested with scorpions. You know those things that they click and it show, like, you know how scorpions would go on the bed and wanna, hey, motherfucker, how do you live there? She's like, I would prefer to be homeless. But then you think about it and it's like, hold on. If you're on the streets of Australia, that's probably worse. You know, and the thing is, like, they couldn't sell the house anymore. Because you have to disclose that it's infested with scorpions, and who's going to buy it from you? They even have plants that can make you go insane of pain. Yeah, no, like that is like a place on Earth that I don't know how it exists, because it's so different than anything else. Sorry, I have to go play Dave Chappelle last night. I had no idea your stream would get deleted. No, it's fine. It's fine. I didn't get a community strike though, and I don't think I deserve one because again, it was Dave Chappelle. But it's not okay. So you had the scorpions, and then you had like this TV show, which was meant for kids, and they were trying to say that spiders aren't dangerous and you shouldn't kill spiders if you see them. Because spiders are really good for the ecosystem and they eat bugs and whatnot. You know, like it was like this educational material for kids. It got banned in Australia. Why do you think it got banned in Australia? It got banned in Australia because spiders there are actually fucking dangerous. From Australia, I just got stung by 7 scorpions as I typed this. But yeah, like seriously, you know, like American kids are, yeah, spiders are fine. You should play with spiders. It's like, yeah, sure. Banned in Australia, do not play with the spiders. Like, seriously, Australia is the place where it explains why stereotype exists. Like, if you have a person that tells you stereotyping is wrong, okay, you point them to this. It's like, look, okay, these are some spiders that you can find in the wild. Now, I don't know which one is poisonous and which one isn't. I'm not a fucking expert. But I know for sure some of them are going to make my life miserable. So, in order to avoid that, I'm just going to assume each and every one of them is dangerous and act accordingly. Like, I'm not going, like, look, if I see this shit in my bathroom, okay? I see this in my bathroom. I'm not going to go like, all right, spider, wait a little bit. Let me just, open Wikipedia, take a picture, click, post it on the Twitter and ask people, is this okay? Like, is this... No, I'm going to be like, tack, like just until it's dead. Holy shit if it lays eggs. Not to mention, like, do you know that spiders are resistant to a lot of bug spray? Like, the whole thing with the bug spray, as I understand it, is that when you spray it on the ground, the insect walks with its abdomen, with its belly, and rubs some of that spray on it, and that's what kills it. Spiders, they walk at a height, like they walk like this, so their fingers, their legs keep their abdomen above the ground. No, like I really hate spiders. You cannot convince me. Okay, so Phoneturia, a venomous spider, potential medical significance. They are mainly found in South America with one species in Central America. Alright, so the spider can grow and have a leg span of 13 to 15 centimeters. My fucking god! Like this is like a plate. It's not a spider, it's a plate. Their body length ranges... I mean, this shit can probably kill birds. While some of the spiders have a long leg span, the largest species have the longest body and the greatest... Why am I reading this? This is horrible. The genus is distinguished from its relative of dense proletarial scopulae, blah, blah, blah. Characteristic defensive postures with frontal legs. So danger to humans. No, they just, like, no, I don't care if it has, like, medical research, you kill it. You see some shit like this? Like, look, if an insect is big enough that I can look it in the eye, then it's a problem. I literally can see the eye holes of this thing. I can't believe, like, there are people that like to capture it and put it in a jar. The more I learn about other continents, the more I appreciate Europe. If you wanna fall in love with spiders, what? Do you listen to yourself? Why would I wanna fall in love with spiders? It's not normal, okay? Like, there should be a law against it. Like, people should not be able to fall in love with spiders. Oh yeah, the spider that gives you the boner of death. Yeah, I know about it. It's just like, no. Not to mention, like, my parents now live at the edge of the city. Because they had to sell their house. The taxes were getting too high, so they sold the house and bought something smaller. And there's a forest nearby. And there are some motherfucking plump as hell spiders. Like some of the most fat spiders you can imagine. And there's so many of them. So many of them. And I remember, like, there was one in my balcony, like when I was sleeping there in my room. And I could see the balcony from the window. And my God, like, when I would go out during the day, there was nothing, like during the day. But during the night, like, you would have like this spider that would take advantage of the moonlight so that I can see it clearly. And it would just go like this and present itself to me. Like, it would just stay like that, boom. So I can see it on the window. I'm like, why you do this? Like, it knew. I swear to God, it knew. There is no other explanation. Maybe scared of going out on the balcony. Like, during the day, it would hide itself. But during the night, yes, it was an exhibitionist. It's just like, look. And it would like spread its like, boom, on display so I can see it. It's like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? And he was black. He probably could use the gamer word, What you gonna do, gamer word? It's like, no, man. Like, I was the Tomesht warrior. Like, the locality, the municipality was Tomesht, right? So I would take like the lid of a pot and use it as a shield, and I would take like a big spoon and I would like just go to war with these creatures. It was horrible. Don't be afraid of spiders. Think of the chances of getting superpowers. Yeah, they're zero, aren't they? Man, like, if you're a doctor and you see some spider bites, my God, like, I never actually saw one in real life. But you do get, like, to these presentations, and it's just, no. Especially if the patient has an allergic reaction to it, it's even worse. Have you ever fought a raccoon? Okay, so I understand raccoon are like the nature's ninjas. Let me see if I can find one. They're very cute and adorable, and I actually know people that owned one. Let me see if I can find the raccoons. All right, so they're little witchy. They're very cute. The problem is, like, if you grow one, apparently, if you wanna keep one as a pet, first of all, it's illegal in many places, but let's assume that you actually managed to, be in a place where it's legal to keep one for whatever reasons, or you're a specialist that's trained in order to raise them. They're escape artists. Like, that thing, from what I understand, when you lock its cage, it will look at what you're doing and it will learn to unlock its cage. They will go through every single corner of your house and try to find food, or, like, they actually, like, take things, like, they will take your iPhone or whatever and try to wash it. Like, let me see if I can find it. Like, they have this obsession with washing things. Look at this. This is actually from a YouTube video, right? So the raccoon is just going around, and is washing this person's phone. So just so you understand, right? Like, what you're in for. But the thing, like, why? I don't know. Like, it's something they do in the wild. They want to wash things. Like, they have this obsession. They stand next to a water source and they constantly wash things. But anyway, that's not the problem. Like, still, that's manageable. There are parrots that do worse. But the thing with the raccoon is that it wants to grow up. And once it reaches puberty, it becomes very aggressive because of the hormones. And not only that, what also ends up happening is that it likes to mark its territory. So it's going to shit everywhere. It's going to take a shit around your house. It's really smelly. And it's also got like glands that release a smell, which they use to mark their territory. They piss everywhere. So no, they're like... This is why you shouldn't have wild animals as pets. Yeah, they do wash afterwards, but I want to get a pet hog. Jesus. You don't know what... like, a pet hog might actually be good if you feed it and it gets attached to you. You can actually get away with it. If I had a raccoon, I'd name it Howard Hughes. The washing hands obsession, eh? I'm going to shit in my own house to assert my dominance. Foxes. Alright, so the thing with foxes is very interesting. It's actually legal to have foxes in certain countries. There was this Russian experiment that wanted to see how fast you can domesticate foxes. Right? The Russians are absolute geniuses when it comes to genetical experimentation. Like some of the best genetical experiments happened in Russia, believe it or not, especially during the communist era. And this doctor wanted to see how fast you can domesticate foxes. So he captured a big number of foxes from the wild, and he would separate them into two categories. It was like foxes that were friendly to, not necessarily like friendly, but they wouldn't be as scared of humans than the others. So the ones that were aggressive to humans, the ones that were incredibly scared of humans, those were the foxes that he would remove from the experiment. And he would only allow the foxes that were more friendly to breed. And he has like the first generation. And then again, like he reproduces this experiment a couple of generations. It's like only the most friendly and more positive towards humans foxes would be allowed to breed. And eventually he got the world's first domesticated fox, which you can even buy now. Like it's actually a pet that you can obtain. And they're like dogs, but not really. Basically, like the end of the experiment was that he found out that the new foxes he obtained had big hormonal disimbalances. Like, for example, they would produce less adrenaline, they would produce less aggression hormones. So they weren't as good at surviving in the wild, but they were very friendly towards humans. So if you buy one of these foxes, like, yeah, sure, you're going to get a fox that isn't going to attack you or be afraid of you. But you can't really train it to piss and shit outside. You can't really train it to behave like a dog. You know, like, it was trained just so that it's not aggressive to humans, but it will still have, like, a lot of the other problems that you encounter with a wild animal. But if you really want something that's a fox and it's... Let me see if I can find... Yeah, you can buy this thing, which is a finnick fox. Now, a finnick fox is probably legal in most areas. It's not really a fox per se, but it's like this hyperactive thing. And yes, it does this all the time. Like, you just... No, it doesn't run out of batteries, basically. You know? And it is actually affectionate, believe it or not. So yeah, like this is a pet that I would recommend people to have if you really want like something as of a fox. If you want a big fox, you have to find the Russian one. But yeah, and it's not really like a dog because it does jump on high places like a cat. And, you know, also the main issue with these animals, and this is an issue with all the animals that you can buy, is that when they reach puberty, they change. Like, a lot of people are going to buy a little animal and they think, oh, that's so cute, that's so nice. But then they reach puberty. Once an animal reaches puberty, it has significant behavioral changes. And in the case of a fox, it pisses on the carpet. Now, the thing with fox piss is that it stinks a lot more than even cat piss. And if you try to clean it with water, it smells even worse. So yeah. It would be easier to breed a dog to look like a fox, I guess. Let me show you something else that a lot of people buy. And they end up throwing away the animal. So I noticed at pet stores, a lot of people would see a little iguana, you know, that is like really small and it's cute in an aquarium. What people don't realize is that iguanas actually grow quite large in size. They almost are the size of an alligator. All right, this isn't even a fully matured iguana, and yes, you can actually walk it on a leash and stuff. I mean, look at this. You know, just look, imagine having. Okay, this is aggressive. This is aggressive. Imagine having this shit in your house. So let me explain to you why iguanas are actually really dangerous. First of all, the tail. When an iguana wants to fuck you up, it's going to use the tail to lash at you. Now, the tail is actually imagine like a sock that has a lot of coins in it, and you spin it around and hit somebody in the head. I think that's going like that. That is like the equivalent. Okay, it's got like these powerful bones in it, and it uses it as a whip. The tail isn't the biggest problem. The biggest problem is, despite the fact that these things are herbivores, they have a lot of pointy teeth. And once they grab to something, they don't just hold it, they go like... So yeah, no, they're really dangerous. Like, if you see some people attacked by iguanas, it's not fatal, but some of them probably wish it was. And what happens with the iguana is that once it gets into heat, like, it kind of knows its people. Like, if they kind of recognize who the owner is, so they will leave you alone. But once it actually gets into heat, what happens is that if you happen to have a red shirt, or you use the color red, or, you know, like some bright colors, it will come up to you and start bobbing its head. And when it bobs its head, you need to understand, you need to fuck off. Like, it's really pissed off. And in this case, it's trying to, I guess, intimidate a cat or something. Yeah. Like, I would not encourage this interaction. And again, like, this is not even a mature iguana. Like, this is like some teenager type of, yeah. Yeah, when you see this is a great, it's very important, by the way. Like, I fully encourage people. If you buy an animal, like if you want to have a pet, learn its body language. It's really easy nowadays. You go on the internet and you learn the pet's body language. You should know at least aggression, fear, and when the animal is content and happy. It's very important because you will have a better relationship with your pet if you understand this. But the thing is, you know, like, pets should learn human language. Yeah, like, pet learns human language as well. But let me tell you something, all right? If you have an iguana and you see it doing this, you need to understand that it's going to bite you if you keep handling it. Like, it's for your own safety. And it's not only that, but it's also, it's a lot better to... You need to know there are some animals that can communicate better. I mean, like, for example, you know when a cat is pissed off, right? It's going to growl, it's going to display its teeth. Like, you know when a cat is upset. Same with the dog. With a parrot, it's a lot more difficult. Like, again, there are parrots that can fuck you up. Like, they can literally sectionate. Like they can rip off your finger or whatever, depending on the size of the parrot. I remember, like, when I had the pet bunny, and it was chewing some electric cables, I would use my foot to do this into the ground, and that is a sign for danger for the rabbits, and it would actually own away. No, I don't own birds anymore. I gave them away. What happened to my Road of Bones vid? It's on BitChute. Got censored by YouTube. Well, anyway, I've been talking for 77 minutes. You know, I kind of like talking about animals. It's a hobby of mine. I like reading about animal psychology and different animals on Earth. It's fun. I don't really like animals as much as I used to like them as a kid. They shit all over. It's very difficult. Like, the only way I would have animals again is if I would have a backyard. But anyway, right. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys on my main video later on. Take care.